The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
The apostles said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." The Lord replied, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you would say to this mulberry tree, 'Be uprooted and planted in the sea,' and it would obey you. Who among you would say to your servant, who has just come in from plowing or tending the sheep in the field, 'Come here immediately and take your place at table'? Would he not rather say to him, 'Prepare something for me to eat. Put on your apron and wait on me while I eat and drink. You may eat and drink when I am finished'? Is he grateful to the servant because he did what was commanded? So it should be with you. When you have done all you have been commanded, say, 'We are unprofitable servants. We have done what we were obliged to do.'" The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Today's scriptures appear to focus on faith. Having more faith, or the quality of faith, sustaining faith, the dynamic of faith, how faith works. The prophet Habakkuk, from whom we very rarely hear, today sounds as if he's been sitting next to us watching the evening news. Violence, ruin, misery, destruction, discord. How long, O Lord? And how are you and I to sustain faith in the midst of constant violence and injustice? And the cry of the disciples in the gospel is similar. Increase our faith. Haven't we all been there, one time or another? Living as we do, in a capitalist and consumeristic culture, our go-to solution for almost every obstacle and problem is more. More time, more money, more space, more leisure, more TV channels, more faith, more. And this is where today's gospel intersects with the gospel we heard last Sunday. If you remember last Sunday's punchline, Jesus said, "If they will not listen to Moses and to the prophets, neither will they be convinced if someone should rise from the dead." It's not a question of more. We already have all we need. It is for us really a matter of internalizing our faith, becoming one with our faith. To the extent that faith remains external, whether we are talking about the creed or the person of Jesus or the mystery of the Godhead or church teaching, it remains outside of ourselves, and that faith will always be a struggle for us, and it might not be able to sustain us. The English mystic Julian of Norwich invented the word "oneing," O-N-E-I-N-G, oneing, to describe the dynamic of faith. Through faith, the Godhead joins us, enters us, is oneing with us. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., thinking of the redemption Christ won for us on the cross, described faith as participation in a life-saving deed. In faith, we are participants, one with Christ in his salvific act of salvation. The Trappist monk Thomas Merton reminds us that faith is not emotion or feeling or opinion or some optimistic idea that everything will just be all right. Merton said faith is communion with God. All the great spiritual leaders in church history describe faith as an internal dynamic, as does the church itself. In the Catechism of the Catholic Church, we read that faith is an ecclesial act, that the faith of the church precedes, engenders, supports, and nourishes our faith. So not only is faith eternal, but we share faith in, through, and with one another. That is how faith sustains us. So if and when our faith falters, the faith of the church, of the community, bears witness to us and sustains us on our journey. The final verse of today's gospel can be a little bit disturbing. It seems to assert that we are just unprofitable servants. And some of you will remember the older translation that said we are worthless servants. The challenge is that the Greek text actually involves kind of a play on words that just doesn't translate easily into English or most other languages. The Greek that is translated as worthless or unprofitable literally means needless. You might catch the play on words here because, in a sense, yes, definitely. Next to God, you and I are needless servants. But we are also needless servants. We are servants who have no real need. Embracing Jesus' vision of the reign of God and rendering faithful service to bring it about in small but certain ways satisfies every want and every need of a disciple.